All right, here we go. Big finish. I did have an exercise for you to look up the pKa, a pKb of guanidine, or you can give me the pKa of its conjugate acid. I'm going to draw the original molecule, and you tell me where's the best place to park the H. Is it on the NH2s here and or here, where they cannot resonate with the pi bond, or do you want to put it here where that pi bond can resonate with the lone pairs on these NH2s? I think I answered my question. And we have new H here, and we have a typo. I was hinting at the answer, Freudian hint there. I had the two already there, but I shouldn't have done that. Plus charge, thank you. And there's your pKa 13.6 that you guys diligently researched for me, right? Which means guanidine is the strongest biochemical base, because guanidine is found in a lot of stuff. It's in one of the amino acids. It's attached to something in an amino acid. Biochemical base. And you're going to prove it to me with a calculation. pKb equals, yeah, 0.4, 14 minus 13.6. My goodness, that's close to 0, right? I mean, anything near 0 is pretty darn strong. Below 0 is a strong base. So all of the guanidine in nature, which one's going to predominate in nature? Are you going to have the base or its conjugate acid? Well, think about it. Nature provides a pH somewhere near 7, right? Is 7 above or below 13.6? If you're below the pKa of an acid, that means you have protonated the acid. You can think of the environment itself as an acid with that pKa, whatever the pH of the environment is. So if the environment has a pH of 7, then you can think of it as a source of protons with that pKa. So if you have a choice of an acid with 7 or acid with 13.6, you always go from the lower number to the bigger number, right? So we're going to go to the 13.6. So this predominates in nature. And as promised, I'm going to show you the amino acid that has a guanidine residue in it. All amino acids look like this in their natural Zwitterion form, except for the one that has a ring in it, the proline, sorry. Too many details, I know. And the R group is CH2 once, twice, 3 times to an N with 1 H to a C. C, double N, and I'll give its predominant form. There it is. Hey, there's a guanidine conjugate acid on the right, isn't it? And that there is called oh my goodness, arginine. Oh no, so this would be say at pH. It's a whole bunch of stories at pH equals 7, and I'm glad she brought it up. This is how this molecule looks at pH 7. There's 3 stories here. A carboxylic acid normally has what pH? A pKa, sorry. 5 is below 7, which means 7 is above 5. The environment is more basic. It will take an H from the carboxylic acid. The environment took that H, it's gone. Where'd it go? To the environment. Is 7 above or below 10? Because that's the pKa of this. The environment is more acidic than the amine will allow. The amine will become protonated. Okay? Now, is 7 above or below 13.6? It's the same story, right? It's below. It's going to protonate the former base that gives us 13.6. So pKa 13.6. pKa roughly 10. CO2H, which is what it was before it lost its H. What was its pKa? And where did it go? It became that in the environment at pH 7. The other two kept their H's because 7 is below their number. If you're above, you lose an H. If you're below, you keep your H. That is a story that will come up and predominate test 4. That is the predominant story in test 4. What form is a acid in? Is it protonated or deprotonated? And it just brings all of our chemistry back to chapter 4 to the final point where it actually means something, like every minute of every day. Okay, and there's where we're at. But I didn't tell my story about this. It's related to the other story. Before Fritz Haber saved the world with his ammonia synthesis from nitrogen in the air, people were looking for fertilizer sources, right? Okay, well, nitrogen is a very good chemical to have in your fertilizer. You have, in fact, it's almost essential. And one good sources are bird poop. Okay, birds are inconsiderate; they poop everywhere. Okay, but there's a certain species of a mammal that poops, and they like hanging out with each other, and the poop's all concentrated, and it's in a cave. And these are bats. Bat caves had guanidine, and you can tell there's guanidine there. It's white. It turns white over time. Okay, so there's in the Galapagos. You ever go there where no humans existed for hundreds of years, and the birds were just having the best time of their life? There's mountains in the Galapagos that are white. That is not rock. What is it? Bird poop. I'm not done. The story gets better. But with the bats, it's great because there's a big thick layer of the bird poop. It's not bird anymore. It's mammal poop. It's the bat. Okay, but it's got a lot of fertilizer in it, and that used to be people killed each other over those mines to get the bird poop or the bat poop out of the cave. Yeah, they went nuts over getting that fertilizer. People were starving after the Crimean War. It was a terrible time in history, late 1800s. Read about it, but don't. It's pretty depressing. Okay, so countries were all isolating themselves, trying to get their own fertilizer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, until Haber saved them from that, right? And you do know the expression about the bat poop. Like during those times, people were like at each other. They were going crazy, right? You want to say it? No, you can't say it. Her mother would give her trouble. I'll say it. You want me to say it on a video? The expression is "you're batshit crazy," right? Well, that's the historical reference right there. Okay. Okay. I said it. And this will be the second video where it's not for kids. There we go.